So June and July is one of our coldest months here in Western Kenya. So that means there is low rainfall and you need to figure it out what types of vegetables or crops to plant in June and also in July. So in this video, I'm just going to briefly talk about the crops that you need to plant in June that can do really well, and some of the crops that should be ready in July and also in June for harvesting. Hello guys, good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So our garden right now in June has really changed. A lot has changed in terms of we are still harvesting majority of the vegetables and also crops. So our beans are almost drying up. So today the only thing that will be happening, we'll be beating up the beans, the husks, so that the beans can come. We can separate the beans from the husk, and then we dry and then we store. So things like the groundnuts, we are yet to harvest, but the only way you can know that your groundnuts are almost maturing is they tend to turn, their color tend to turn, but we'll keep on adding soil until they fully mature, then we can harvest. I will also be doing clearance of some of the carrots. So because carrots are short term, I will just call mid short term crops. So they take around 3 to 6 months to fully mature, but as from 2.5 months to 3 months, you can start harvesting. So I plant my carrots or my vegetables in phases so that I can always have constant supply of vegetables in our farm. So this small section, I want to clear off all the carrots so that I can plant other types of vegetables here. And the good thing about planting, you can decide to plant, it's always recommended to plant your to do crop rotation. So if you plant this type of vegetable here, the next time you change to a different type of vegetable. And I'm also really thinking about putting drip irrigation, just because of these small seasons that we always have less rainfall, so that anytime I plant my vegetables, they do really well, especially right now, because anytime there is no rainfall, there's always scarcity of vegetables. So June is also a very good time to plant watermelon. Also June and July, you can decide to plant your watermelon June and July, and also you can also now sow the bulb onion seeds right now. I'm super impressed with our uh, eggplant because of how they are producing a lot of flowers, and I think it is one of the vegetables that can really do well even in an environment that do not have a lot of rainfall. So if you're that farmer that needs to plant something right now in June, just do it, because right now is also a very good time to plant it. But if you're in an area, because I've seen even so many areas here in Kenya that have not received rainfall at all, and majority of their crops are not doing really well. We are lucky that our rainfall, even if it stops, it does not take a really long time to come back again. And because June and July is always our coldest month here in Kenya, so you can also consider planting crops that really do well during cold weather, like the garlic. Garlic does really well, especially when it's planted during the cold season. So try and plant garlic. I always plant my garlic with just the store-bought garlic bulbs. So you can also decide to do that, and you will see a lot of changes in them. And garlic loves a lot of manure. Majority of these crops, especially because here I do purely organic farming, I depend on compost manure and also the animal manure. So if you're doing that, that means that you keep on regularly pouring manure to your crops. Our bulb onions have started forming bulbs, so that means you can decide to also sow onion seeds right now. Onion seeds take around a month and a half in the bed, and then outside the bed they take around 2 months. So that is roughly 3 months of growing onions, or roughly 4 months to the maximum. And that is something you can consider planting. Things like strawberries are long-term crops because they can stay in your farm for even 3 years. And the only thing you need to do is just keep on regularly watering them. They love a lot of manure, and also removing the runners. Runners tend to slower their production rate, as in they will not start producing fruits early. So today I want to prepare for the kids samosas. So let me harvest some spring onions. I planted spring onions on the other side. They're doing really well. So you can decide to cut your spring onions when you're harvesting, or decide to uproot. So if you uproot, I'll advise you to just remove the lower back of your onion and then replant it, just to help you always have constant supply of onions in your farm. So after you've beaten all your beans, this is the stage that it needs winnowing and a lot of wind. So most of the time we do it in the evening. That's when we do the winnowing so that you can clean your beans. And that is how simple as that we clean our beans here in the village, or if you're a farmer, this is the easiest way to clean your beans. So I passed by today in my backyard kitchen garden and I realized the birds are really terrorizing my broccoli. So let me harvest this one before it's fully destroyed by the birds. I don't know why they keep on eating the leaves and also some of the broccoli. And this is the first time I've fully harvested a grown broccoli. So I don't know what I'm going to do next time, because the birds are the ones that feed on the leaves, and the moment they completely feed on the leaves, the broccoli tends to not produce some broccoli in between. Nipike samosa. Samosa. Okay. Pika. Nipike? Yeah. So I'll be preparing beef samosa, but I want it to have majority of the vegetables. So it will be more like vegetable samosa with some little bit of beef. That's why I've harvested a lot of vegetables. So I'll be using carrots, then spring onions, broccoli, yeah, and some herbs. That's it. I love when you get outside of your farm and you come back with some vegetables just directly from your farm. Things like broccoli were just like dreams here in our farm, and especially here in the village. I've never seen in our local supermarket the broccolis, and if you see it, they have withered, they are not fresh. So I always miss and do not even buy them from the supermarket. And when I started planting them, the first time I planted them last year, they did not do well. They did not reach to this point of harvesting. But this time round, I think I've tried a little bit. The only problem I have is the birds, but I think next time I'm going to do better. So also broccoli are the best vegetables to plant right now also, because they tend to take a little bit longer when they are producing the broccolis. So let's make some samosa pockets, and for samosa pocket you need flour, some water, warm water, and then some cooking oil and some salt. That's just how I make my samosa pocket dough, and it's just the same way you make your chapati dough, as simple as that. And then you knead it, let it rest for around 10 minutes, and then you can start now making your pockets. I know in the city it's very easy to get the samosa pockets being sold in the supermarket, but here in the village, some luxury are just like dreams. So you just have to learn to do these things by yourself and try until you perfect. The first time I made my pockets, they were terrible, but after I made some attempts, some like 4 or 3 attempts, I was able to perfect on making samosa pockets. So when you're making the samosa fillings, make sure they do not have water or tomatoes, because tomatoes have some juice. So your fillings will have like some water. So when you fry them, they will tend to pop in the fire or in the cooking oil. So what I will be doing is just add the spring onions. You can also decide to use the bulb onions right now, but for me, because I've harvested a lot of spring onions, I'll be using just my spring onions, then add the meat and then the other vegetables. Then let them cook just a little bit and then remove from fire. Then you'll use that for your fillings. So the secret to a very nice samosa pocket is just the technique that you're going to use. So different people have different ways of making their pockets, but for me this is the simplest and the easiest way to make them. So just roll your dough into balls, different balls that are in the same size, and then make roll them. After you've rolled them, put some cooking oil, dust it with some flour, and then you stick them together. So if you do not put oil, they'll stick. When you're trying to remove from the fire, they're going to stick. So just like that. Kupika samosa. Chapati ni samosa. So after you're done rolling, just put them in the fire, but almost always use very low heat, and you're supposed to be very fast because they are not supposed to fully cook. They're supposed to just gain some heat, and then you start removing the sheets all together. And if you've put some good amount of cooking oil, it will be easier for you to remove all the sheets easily. So to create the quarters is very easy. Just make your chapatis to be round and then turn them into half, cut them into half, then cut the half again. So you'll be able to create the quarters. So different people have different ways of creating pockets. So this is also another way. People use different ways of creating the pockets also. And just like that, I'm going to fill them with fillings. Make sure you do not overfill them or underfill them, and then seal them. I always use the wheat flour paste. Very easy when you're sealing, and also when you're making that paste, it should not be too heavy or too light, just like that. So let me put the fillings to all the pockets, and then we start frying. And just like that, you have some really nice golden brown samosas, just like the ones that you buy from the good and big hotels. And you can also decide to make them at home. So I'm also going to fry this. We always take them as snacks. So if you've cut the excess pieces from the dough, the chapatis, do not throw them away. My kids really love this. They taste always so nice. So thank you so much. Let's enjoy some evening tea, and then the rest, the kids, we are going to use them for breakfast tomorrow, and the kids will also carry them to school.